We're back. We're back here at the Open Line Radio Show here on AOC Community Media and streaming live also the audio portion on Digital Soul Radio. Please check us out. Download all the apps. AOC Community Media. That's Cox 15 in the 5 parish area of South Louisiana. And those who looking and listen outside the area, you could go online and watch the show. That's the 5 counties, which is parishes in Louisiana. We always doing something different down this way, so it does not make any sense sometimes. Again, we have a great guest on today, a brother who I've been checking out, who's a real bona fide community activist. I mean, you got activists now, but you got a brother who's, after I saw his speech or his news press conference concerning the young baby boy that was killed by Mississippi police, I say, wow, this brother, we have to get him on in the South Louisiana. We have none other than Mr. Marquell Bridges, if I'm pronouncing it right. Welcome to the Open Line, my brother.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My brother, you've been on a long journey as a community activist. You're familiar with several cases. This is what we need in this day in order to have younger brothers like yourself, because I'm old and I'm old school. And I've been working with a long-time activist in this area, Sister Khadijah, Reverend Raymond Brown, and other activists who have vehicle will travel. And we see now that we have a different generation of younger people doing these things, and some people want to give up. But you, my brother, as a younger person, to me, you have been at the forefront of doing some things in the South. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and tell us, how did you get involved with the case of the young baby in Mississippi?
Okay, so my name is Marquell Bridges. I'm the president and founder of Building Bridges Coalition. We're a national organization based in Mississippi. I started this work about 10 years ago, but we became an official organization probably 2020 around George Floyd. I got involved with Kohen Carter Wiley is family to me, but I got involved because of Coach D, a friend, my sister. Coach D called me and made me aware of the situation and asked me to please go help these people. She's from this area. She's a coach, was a coach for HBCU, but now she's a coach for women's basketball. Just a great person. And I knew if she was calling that it was a real situation. So I dropped everything. I think I was in Kentucky, New Orleans. I can't even remember where I was, but I was like 6 hours away. So I dropped everything and drove down. The way I organize, I don't do anything without the blessing of the family. So my first step was to connect with both sides of the family. I did that upon the first day, assess their needs, and begin to organize and fight for the truth and to fight for justice and accountability and transparency.
Yes. You've been around some other cases that we are so much familiar with in Louisiana. The case of Mr. Ronald Green. We saw recently where Miss Mona came out. They received a settlement. The family received a settlement. And she said she's definitely, and this is what I was hoping to hear, she's not satisfied with the settlement. It's not about the settlement. It's about justice that a couple of Louisiana State Police officers engaged in the cover-up after the fact, even if the principal person basically committed suicide. There are other individuals involved, and there's other people who look the other way, all the way from those high-ranking, newly appointed black head of Louisiana State Police, all the way to the governor, who was a Democrat. And I'm glad Miss Mona is out there advocating, her and her sister, her daughter, Miss Danielle. I always pronounce her name wrong. She says she gets me for this. And Danielle, fighting for justice for Ronald Green. And I know you were involved, and you know the family. You want to, before we get into young Kohen, you want to tell us a little bit from your perspective on that.
Okay, thank you. First of all, justice for Ronald Green,
Hmm.
and all my love to the Harden and Green family. I love Mama
Hmm.
and Pep and D,
Hmm.
and the entire family. And I just second her sentiment. So a little about me. I don't care about any type of monetary benefits. I've never accepted or received any money from any family for organizing. Everything comes out from the coalition from my own pockets. So I agree with Mona. I know that's needed because I've actually watched these families not receive justice and not receive anything. So I do think holding them civilly accountable and showing that black life was worth something is very important. But my sole focus is on criminal accountability. And to me, the principal agents is everyone on the scene, the 5 officers who put their hands, not just the one who committed suicide, but all those who participated in the beating and the unaliving and the torture of Runner Green. They still need to be held accountable. We're still fighting for justice. It was looking hopeful before this current administration did a complete overhaul of the DOJ. We was never counting on the corrupt state of Louisiana. We were hoping for the federal government to step in because they've been saying they've been investigating this whole time and monitoring. So if you've been investigating and seen these committee hearings and how they lied and covered up over and over, I don't know why charges hasn't came down yet. But with this current administration, we know he did away with all investigations into policing civil rights violations, which, set us back a little bit. But that only lasts a couple years. There's no statute of limitations on murder. So we're continuing to fight for justice, and we're going to get justice for Ronald Green. And I mean that, like, we're determined for all of these families. It doesn't stop until we quit, and we don't plan on quitting anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes the cover up is worse than the act itself by that individual. We had at that time we had Carl Cavalier. I don't know if you're familiar with Brother Carl Cavalier, the Louisiana State Police, former Louisiana State Police officer who helped expose some of the cover ups in the background over around the green. And what happened to him was very, very hard pill to swallow. We had him a number of times on our show, and from what he said, from what he gave us, that there were individuals within the legislative body, the state of Louisiana legislative body, the so-called Black Caucus, and I use the word so-called because I'm very disappointed in them, even all the way to this redistricting thing, showing weakness. There's what was one individual he named, Mr. Vincent Pierre here of Lafayette, who stood up there and said the governor defended the governor in somewhat on the issue when the governor knew when he did he know it. So all these things are troubling. And what we hope for these brothers who are in this position, that they would do next time around, do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Definitely. And Carl Cavalier is a wonderful brother, but he's the perfect example that if you operate with honesty, integrity, if
Mhm.
you're a good cop, you won't be a cop long.
Right. Right.
So, what was done to him is a travesty. He worked hard for his career. I'm happy that he's moving on and going into law and preparing to fight against this system. So I just wish him the absolute best. But you can't be involved in this organized criminal activity, which is policing, if you operate with integrity and honesty. And they showed you they don't want people to do the right thing. They don't want people who tell the truth. They want people that go along and cover up and basically commit gang activity. And when you speak out against that gang activity, they fire you. They don't have problem firing you then. They don't
Yeah.
have problem decertifying you then. So he's just a perfect example of what a good cop looks like and how they don't want good policing.
Yeah. Now, my brother, as we get into the young Kohen, the 1 year old, you want to give us a little background on? I don't know how much you could discuss about the case that not going to hinder any investigation or hinder any justice for young Cohen, but whatever you want to bring about, what you can talk about, because you're close to the family, please let us know. So tell us a little about this young, beautiful baby on the screen, and I'm gonna be pulling up his pictures. as you talk about it.
Okay. So Kohen was loved. He was a happy baby, beautiful spirit. His grandmother and father said he was a fighter, and that's what that spirit is encouraging everybody in Senatobia and all over the world to do is fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even at 1 year old, they say he was just like ahead of his time.
Mm-hmm.
He just knew things that you wouldn't know, and that's often in these situations. These people are special. They always steal the special ones, the light of the family, the one who meant the world to the family, the one who was just truly special. So they're purposely and intentionally stamping out these lights. As far as details, we're not doing any type of speculation. We know if an average American citizen commits a crime and it's on camera, they lock them up same day. There's not a 6 to 9 month investigation with something you can see with your own eyes that's recorded. So the 6 month to 9 month so-called investigation by MBI is an attempt to cover up. It's an attempt to AI these videos. It's an attempt to redact, and it's an attempt to find some sick justification for this racist officer, Hunter Foster, to get away with killing his 1 year old baby. The city of Senatobia, the Senatobia PD, has a long history of racism. They beat, tased, and drug a woman at the same Walmart for doing nothing but dropping her elderly mother off at the front door and
Mm-hmm.
parking in the handicap spot so she could be close when she come back out. And they beat and tase her at this very Walmart. That's why we're boycotting Walmart for their racial bias. Senatobia police approach to something as simple as a misdemeanor, something simple as parking in the handicap spot can lead you to be beat, tased, and we see with Kohen Wiley can lead you to be murdered, Latoya Farrell being shot, and this mother forever traumatizing for something as an alleged misdemeanor shoplifting call. Why are you approaching these situations with excessive force? Why are you approaching these situations ready to murder with your guns drawn for something that's a ticket, for something that's a fine? You know, black life is worthless to them. This is the same city, same police force that arrested and jailed a 10-year-old boy for peeing outside his mom's car. This is the same system and city that beat brother Mark within an inch of his life and almost tased him to death for no reason. This is the same city and same police force who arrested six 12 and under boys for simply walking across a man's yard going where they were, didn't call their parents, didn't let them know anything. They've been disproportionately locking up black people. They've been over policing the black community, and they've been brutalizing, murdering the black community for a long time. So this is definitely about Cohen Cartier Wiley, this beautiful 1 year old baby boy. But this is about a long history of racism, state-sanctioned violence, state-sanctioned murder, and brutality from the police force. We're, all the evidence is there. They're making all of these alleged allegations without showing any proof. Walmart has cameras everywhere, so we want to see, our demands are to see what happened inside of the store leading up to the situation, what happened outside of the store from Walmart surveillance, unedited, raw footage, un-AI, nothing redacted. We want the audio and transcript of this alleged 911 call for shoplifting. Who made that call? Did it come from Walmart? Did it come from someone else? Is it even real? Because there's been no proof of it. We want all unedited body cam footage, dash worn cam footage. Why was it 5 to 10 officers out there or more, but only one felt threatened or in danger to shoot? Nobody else shot a single shot, which proves this racism, which proves this bad policing. Nobody else felt in danger from two unarmed women and a baby, a 1 year old baby. Hunter Foster has a racist history. He just 2 days prior, which is confirmed and not alleged, he had formal complaints filed on him by other officers for using racial slurs within the department and on the department precinct floor. heard for all to hear, and they filed formal complaints on him. We know that he was fired from DeSoto County for brutalization. This is alleged, and
Right.
we're seeking to confirm. Mississippi is different from most states. They
Right.
don't release the police history and records and violations to you. You have
Mhm.
to fight for it. But he was allegedly fired from DeSoto County for handcuffing a black man and putting a dog on his neck. So he's a bad apple. He
Bad
has a
apple.
bad jacket, and he's what we call a gypsy cop. And I want to take this opportunity to
Okay.
educate the people
Okay.
about policing. The average American citizen, and especially the black community, doesn't know that every time an officer leaves a department and goes to another police department, all investigations from said department stop. So they have this thing in the police world where they call them gypsy cops. They
Mhm.
do something over here and then just go to another department, and all investigations for what they done at the other department has stopped. That's something that we have to fight to change, to hold these people accountable. This is never a one and done. Hunter Foster elevated. His brutalization elevated. We know the ones that killed Ronald Green, the ones that killed Tamir Rice and Mike Brown Jr. and all of these people. That wasn't their first bad act. It's always an elevation, and if they would have been held accountable for their first bad act, then they wouldn't elevate to taking someone's life and feeling justified like they can get away with murdering people. So we've successfully shut Walmart down 3 times, organized by me and the Building Bridges Coalition. 100% peaceful, not one arrest. Brilliant organizing by all of our partners, unheard of. And the only violence since we started this advocacy for Kohen, Carter, and Wiley has come from the police.
Yeah.
First with killing the baby, and second with tear gassing peaceful protesters.
Yes, I saw that, and that's what I was going to ask you about the tear gas. What, how did that come about? Because when they can't stand the peaceful protest or the chants, or a chance. You want to ask it so much like you see with the ICE facility, which you saw in New Jersey. They couldn't stand the chance, so what they do, they supposedly want to establish a safety zone perimeter. So they start telling people to move back, even though people are at a safe distance, and the chanting is getting to them. And so what they do, they start moving out, and so once they move out, they tell you to move back. We just ran a video from the Lafayette City Police that was someone submitted on social media, and it's starting to go viral, where this officer was telling some brothers to get back, or telling a mixed group of individuals, white and black, to get back, and they escalated they kept on going in the face of these people. And what happened is one of the larger cops belly bumped the brother, then he pushed him down, and the other smaller officer attacked him and went to applying what you call a UFC fight, where they knee you to the head. And so individuals disagree with me and saying that, the guys might have precipitated that incident. But when you could arrest somebody, detain them, Brother Marquis, but why apply the knee to the head twice? And when the other individual, who I think was white, or he was light skinned, whatever, he was turned over on his stomach, and they detained him that way. But the brother with the dreadlocks, they were using what I call real types of moves where you see in wrestling, where they knee you to the head and to the face. So that's what I want to say, and that's what they do. They do that all the time. They create the situation where the situation escalate. Now go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. They're not de-escalating anything. They're escalating for more violence because they're itching to harm people. A lot of these people have mental illness. There need to be greater mental evaluations. Think about this, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Dear brother, you have more rules of engagement before killing someone when you are a soldier actually fighting a war.
Right.
They can be held accountable at a greater standard for murdering somebody in a time of war unjustly than it is to hold American police accountable
Mhm.
because of qualified immunity.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that. Like you
Yeah.
think that makes no sense in a war that they have rules that they have to follow. You just can't kill people. But here at home, our police are just murdering people
Yes.
unarmed, and nothing's being done about it. No accountability.
Mhm. Yes. 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 So.
So it's sick. They're still slave catchers. It's I need people to understand that the system is not broken. It's working exactly like it's supposed to work. The 13th Amendment says no man can be treated like a slave unless incarcerated by the state. It's no coincidence that the people who was once slaves in this country unwillingly
Mhm.
or makes up the majority of the prison system where you still can be treated like a slave. The police job is slave catchers to catch you and lock you up and put you back on the plantation, which is now private prisons.
Mhm. Now, the groups on the ground over there, what are they doing in the form or the sense of informing the public or supporting the public out there? So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of outrage. 1 year old baby, black baby boy killed, and we don't know other things that are happening in the background as it relate to our youth out that way. Will they be targeted more so, or will they back down for a while? Are they arresting more brothers, young brothers out there for petty stuff? How much support are you getting from other outside groups and groups in your area?
So the support has been tremendous from outside groups, which that's everywhere
Hmm.
I go. So let me give a little background. So organizing in Mississippi is a different beast. Our
Right.
racism, the hatred has been different. So I've never had a bunch of support from
Hmm.
the state of Mississippi. And by
Yeah.
what I mean, like people will support you on social media,
Right.
but effort to come out to organize and stand up. So the way I figured and learned to bypass that is I've always brought my own people with me.
Hmm.
I run a weekly Zoom, and the Build a Bridges Coalition is made up of other impacted families
Hmm.
that support other impacted families, and a coalition of righteous organizations like the Hewitt P. Newton Gun Club.
Okay.
Actually, the Louisiana chapter is a part of the coalition.
Okay.
Um, Black Lives Matter Grassroots, M4BL, Movement for Black Lives, um, various and hundreds of the impacted families are all a part of the coalition. The People's Advocacy Institute under Rakia Lumumba,
Hmm.
One Voice under Nasumbi Lightbright, Sister Danielle Holmes with the Poor People's Campaign and Mississippi Impact Coalition. So my help has always come from them. My organizing has always come from various other places. I've never counted on Mississippi. The Mississippi Negro is scared, rightfully so. You know, starting with Emmett Till, Medgar Evers, Vernon Damer, Lamar Smith, who was left on the courtroom lawn for 3 days. He went and fought a war and came back and realized, oh, we don't have the same rights just for organizing black people to vote. They killed him in Brookhaven, Mississippi, and left him on the courthouse lawn for 3 days to deter black people from voting. They killed Medgar Evers at his house. They firebombed Vernon Damer and killed him in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So the fear is rightfully so, but you can't be afraid of what's already happening. So my message to the Mississippi Negro is just to wake up and get unafraid, you know, and fight back. You can't fear what's already happening. They're disproportionately locking us up and they're killing us, and now they're killing our babies. Look at DeMontario Gibson, the black FedEx driver. In Brookhaven, Mississippi, where two white men tried to kill him for doing nothing more than doing his job. And the Brookhaven police, it was said in open court that the case was declared a mistrial after we fought and organized and protested for 9 months straight. I went to jail. Others went to jail fighting for justice, falsely arrested to try to stop us and get the charges from misdemeanors to conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder, the right charges, just for Brookhaven Police Department to withhold evidence. And the judge had no choice but declare the mistrial. The corruption, the racism in Mississippi it runs deep. They play in our faces. The police are corrupt. The justice system is corrupt. So, even with the Goon Squad, a lot of people don't know that I exposed the Rankin County Goon Squad. I'm the first person to help Michael and Eddie. I'm the first person to meet with Mary and Melvin. I did their first press conference. I organized their town halls and exposed everything, and wrote the DOJ and got the DOJ involved. So essentially, I'm responsible for getting six racist officers the most time in American history. And a lot of people try to take credit for my work, and I don't do it for recognition. But I do have a problem with people taking credit for some shit they didn't do.
Yeah.
So it's a long history. Rasheen Carter in Taylorsville found decapitated with his genitals in his mouth.
Wow.
We same way with the family from day one, organized protests and everything, and amplified, and now the world knows their name, but yet still no justice, even with a $50,000 reward. And his family, all my love to Tiffany Carter and his mother and the Carter family, they uncovered a KKK killing field. People just swept that under the rug, but Rasheen's body wasn't the only body parts they found out there.
Wow.
And still no answers from this racist town of Taylorsville. We know about 15-year-old Jaheim McMillan killed in front of the Family Dollar in Gulfport. My organizing efforts there. Dexter Wade, his mother, and the effort to fight for justice uncovered 630 bodies behind a Hines County jail after the police murdered her son on the highway, hid and killed him, and buried him. We're talking about real. Everybody like talks this stuff, but when you come to Mississippi, it's a ugliness, it's a hatred, it's a deep rooted hatred, and the way they keep it going is because we're so divided.
Right.
We're so divided. Yes. We're not unified, and that's what the goal of building bridges is: inner organizational unity, and just to unify our people.
And it's a wonder. It's a wonder, my brother. Louisiana and Mississippi runs neck and neck as far as the metrics, the negative metrics, the measurement of all the stuff that's supposed to be positive and all the stuff that probably more than likely is negative. And one of the things I say, you guys got that racism thing, but we got that stealth racism where they tell you to come on and here I go on my rant while I got you on, my brother. They tell you to come on and be a Creole Cajun. We all together in this one. But people have to understand, and I say it all the time, till it's blue in the face, most of the people who was pushing the anti-black voting issues before the United States Supreme Court are from Lafayette, Louisiana. Proud so-called raging Cajun. The Attorney General, Liz Morrell, who seems to operate like Denzel Washington in the movie, I'm going to put cases on all you ends. You have Jeff Landry, the idiot wannabe king of Greenland. Trump sends to Greenland. You got Nancy Landry, Secretary of State, who's trying to help gerrymander maps. And you got the master of all, the Project 2025 mastermind, Kevin Roberts, a proud graduate of Lafayette High and UL, Raging Cajun, and other entities out there. So when I say you guys got that racism on steroids, we got it on steroids in another kind of way, but it's the same racism because you got the same outcome: anti-blackness yes, at the end of the day.
All over the country, and I don't want to give the impression that Mississippi is worse than everyone else.
Right.
Mississippi has the largest population of black people per capita.
Yes.
See, a lot of people don't know that. Like, they used to think it was Chocolate City, but it's Mississippi. The state of Mississippi is 50% black.
Mm-hmm.
It fluctuates from 49 to 51% black. The only large population, and I'm not even sure if it's the same anymore, would be Washington D.C. You formerly known as Chocolate City. You know what I'm saying? So the efforts and the energy, though, this is I've traveled the country. This is going around all over the country. You look at Darquan Johnson in Grand Rapids, Michigan. While the police was kneeling on him, on his back, dog on his neck, the police jump up and shoot him twice.
Wow.
And 3 times, one in the back of the head, chest, and stomach. Nothing's been done about that. You can go all over the country. So it's happening everywhere. People like to get this mind frame that is tailored to the South, but nah, they're killing black people all over this country, and they're getting away with it. Look at Tamir Rice. That's Ohio. Look at Mike Brown Jr. That's St. Louis. You can keep going. Look at Sandra Bland, Texas. You can just go on. Tatiana Jefferson. My dear brother Elijah McClain, which they just let those ambulance who shot him up with enough ketamine to kill a horse out. And now they got to have a retrial. Just this new administration is working real hard to attack black people, to attack black life, and to send us back to a time where we were in chains.
Yeah. And I think that we're, as community activists and as for a person who want to believe in the so-called system of voting and change, so forth. Did you? And it's not to criticize any one group, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, but there were excellent opportunities. And I'm at this point. I don't want anybody of the opposite race to necessarily love me. I'm not pushing for them to love me, but all I want is equal justice under the law. Under the law. And that's my whole sentiment. Let me get this caller. We have finally got a caller in, and I'll see what he's talking about. Go ahead, Coach. How you doing, brother? Long time to hear from.
Hey, yeah, brother Jay, been busy out here.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just wanted to call in. And say hello, and checking up on you and y'all, and seeing how we all are doing.
Yes,
so
sir.
How are we all?
We're doing great, and we have on the line Mr. Marquell Bridges. He's with the Building Bridges organization out of the Southeast, and he's advocating for justice for the 1-year-old in Mississippi that was killed by the police. You have any question for Brother Marquell?
Right off the bat, no, but I heard about that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Brother Marquell and them are, involved with that matter, because that needs to be brought to the attention of everybody, so that we can all participate in justice being given and to the folks that deserve it, and under the circumstances. So, my brother, I stand with you. We gotta stand up to the powers that be, because the powers that be, it's crazy. But
hey, Coach,
as human beings,
you're young.
Crazy, but as
you're a coach, and you educated young people, and you educated a lot of young black folks. How much is sticks in the psyche when you hear about a baby boy, a black baby boy, getting killed by police in such a horrible manner? Does that affect the students?
Well, yeah. If I'm gonna say when kids find out, you see, a lot of people, they think that kids, they don't have, I'd say, a thinking capacity. A lot of people think that kids, you can do things around them, and they are so in the slow thinking area, brain not fully developed, that they don't understand. Well, they might be young, and they might not understand it like we do, but there is something that is clicking in there that is affecting them. So with that said, I want to say this, now that you brought that up to the brother about children, my opinion. That is one of our greatest assets. Children, our children, all children. Everything that we do as adults affect them. and many times they don't even have a voice because of their age. Not because of the fact that they don't think well. It's just because of their age. So we have to we got to plot out their life. All of us, government, everything. We are plotting out the lives of children. And as you look at things around us and in our nation, it's not good planning. Shit. Taking a look at a lot of the stuff that's going on, man, I wouldn't want to be here if I was some of them kids almost 40 years from now. I probably won't be here 40 years from now at my age, but I wouldn't want to be here because what we're doing is we're basically overlooking, not seeing. We got blindfolders on. In fact, we actually put them on. We put blindfolders on because we don't want to see the destruction that we are causing. So in closing, I want to close with this.
And please support the brother. I wish, Coach, you could support this brother. Look him up. I'm going to send you this information. You a coach. Yeah. You work with children. You need to support this brother, man. Young people is very impressive because he's a younger brother.
Please do. Please do. I want to leave y'all with two things. Here's why I call. Brother Jay, the Crockett guy and the Davis guy. Mm-hmm. What's going on there? I want y'all to talk about that. The who's who among them two cats right there for the Senate race. Uh-huh. And Brother Jay, ask this question too. Ask the brothers and sisters through this radio system. Are they voting?
Yeah.
Brother Jay.
We had him on.
I got a feeling that people ain't voting. And I got a feeling, not as they should. A few of them, but we are not voting right now in masses. That absentee thing, that thing is empty. And when this election gonna come out this Saturday, you're gonna see it again. Because what's going on? Are we so busy in the summer having a good time that we feel that all is gonna go well if we don't participate? That's the same reason why a lot of things we're going through right now, we're going through. Don't get me wrong, voting and all that politic crap. It don't solve all the problems, but we better stick our nose in it or we gonna be at somebody's mercy. My brother, talk about that. The guy that's on the phone, talk about when you don't go participate, whose mercy you at.
All right, Coach. That's Coach work with young people, and I'm glad he was a little long-winded, but on this show we are trying to get every perspective, my brother. Brother Marquis, still there?
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's Marquell. My people gonna get you, brother. For calling me Marquis. Everybody mess it up though.
Everybody.
Nah,
Louisiana dialect, man. We curse down here.
You good? I ain't tripping. Call me what you want, but don't call me late to eat. You hear me? So the young brother is exactly right though.
He's an older guy. He's an older guy. The older brother is exactly get him to listen to you.
The older brother is exactly right. Dr. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. says your legacy is more important to your life. If more people woke up and approached life and walked out their door with the understanding that everything we do, every decision we make, the way we vote, the things we allow, the things we approve, the things we stay silent about affects the next generation of Black people, but all people. I'm Black, so I can't talk from anyone else's perspective. I grew up Black in America. That's why I always say Black people. It's not a racist thing or a separatist thing. It's just I'm speaking from my soul perspective. But everything we do affects the next generation. If we allow them to kill 1-year-old babies, then what are my sons going to have to deal with? If we allow this administration to do the things they're doing and remove our history, remove our artifacts from museums, remove our inventions and our contribution, Black people's contribution to society, to make American society. We built it to make it run, to make it successful, to sustain it, the great things that we've accomplished. If we remove that, then what knowledge will the next generation have? So I run a elite mentorship program with Sister Melanie Marie out of St. Louis, what we're building now. And it's solely focused on the youth. For one, teaching them accurate history, teaching them knowledge of self, and teaching them how to be leaders and carry the torch. See, so many people want to be selfish. I believe that all of this stuff is supposed to be freely given. We have a saying in Building Bridges Coalition: we don't hoard resources. We freely give. We don't sell knowledge. We freely give it. And when you do that, if you do not create the next legacy, if you do not pour in the next generation, then when you die, the movement stopped. And I'll give you some examples. When Martin Luther King got shot, the movement stopped. When Malcolm X got shot, the movement stopped. So they know this. The oppressor, the enemy knows this about us. And that's why they've been trying so hard to stop this legacy. When Chairman Fred got shot, when Huey P. Newton got murdered, Chairman Fred was assassinated. When these people was assassinated, the movement stopped. So they know, and their tactic is to cut the head off the snake. But if you were pouring into the next generation, if you already had a successor established, if you already had youth that was ready to take up the mantle, no matter who they killed, the movement would never stop.
Yes, that's what I do believe. That's what I do believe. Again, you're speaking with Brother Bridges, Building Bridges. Your organization, you do much more than advocate for justice, right? It's other things that you guys are involved in.
So it's a blueprint. What we're doing is essentially creating a blueprint to be what some would call a one-stop shop or a resource center. So the first thing we do, like as I said, I'm not an attorney, so we can't fight in the courtroom. So the first thing we do for impacted families is give them options of attorney. We don't pick or refer attorneys, but we give them options and make sure that they're covered on the civil side. We fight for justice. We do petitions. We organize protests. We organize town halls. We show up, vigils, everything. We tackle voting rights, voting legislation. We monitor and watch the legislation that's going on that affect our people. We also believe that it is our job as Black people, as Black community, as Black organizers and community leaders, activists, whatever name you want to place on yourself, to address every problem within our community, not just the ones that are favorable. So we definitely address proximity crime, is what it's supposed to be called. There is no such thing as Black on Black crime. You kill the people that you live around. It's called proximity crime. There is no coin phrase, Asian on Asian crime, white on white crime, Latino on Latino crime. That is a narrative that was pushed from COINTELPRO to destroy Black unity, to give these white people and Americans the ideal that Black people commit more crime than anyone else, and that's just false. So we do stop the violence campaigns and address the violence within our own communities. So we do it all, brother. Anything to help our people, as well as tackling racism and police brutality and state-sanctioned murder. It's our job to tackle all of that. And we need more people. We need more volunteers. We need more people to get active. I'm not asking anyone to follow me. I'm not trying to tell anyone what to do. All I'm trying to tell you is to do something. If you call it out here calling yourself a righteous Black person or a righteous Black man or woman, you have to be that example and get involved. Your heart might lead you to stop the violence work. Go do that. Your heart might lead you to voter registration. Go do that. But if you're not doing nothing, then you're not helping us. You're hurting us.
Yes. And as it relates again to young Kohen, does the family have resources to see about his, in other words, concerning any funeral costs or memorial celebration, acknowledging his life? Does they have any resources, and can the outside public help them right now?
The funeral is paid for. So they've retained Ben Crump, a private citizen who I'll allow them to name. It's not my place to name, but the funeral is actually paid for. They will need ongoing support. And this is, I'm glad you asked this question so I can explain to our people and to your listeners why this is important. So the standard, if everything goes perfect, like I'm talking about everything goes exactly Right. No hiccups. You're looking at a 2-year fight before they ever see their day in court. And a lot of people don't understand that because they've never been involved with this
Right.
type of work. It's not a fast process. It's a movement. It's a marathon. It's not a foot race. So they need, I'm going to tell them to set up a GoFundMe. They need that uplifted. The travel, the back and forth to court. It costs money to organize protests. It costs money to fly people in for rooms. It costs money for speakers. It costs money for everything you need to continue to push this work. And that is why we donate to these families GoFundMe, because it's a marathon. It's a long fight that they have ahead of them. And it's not just a one and done situation that helps them achieve justice, accountability, and transparency. But the funeral is paid for. And I want to thank, I'll wait till the family announce that person, or if they ever want to be announced. But I want to take the time and this opportunity to personally thank that righteous person for being willing to do that for the Wiley family.
Yes, yes. One of the things I want to say about the young baby boy, did he have any siblings? Just interested in it. Did he have any
Not to
brothers, sisters?
not to
He's the only
not
child.
not to my knowledge. He's their only child.
Yeah.
So these are young parents.
Yes,
These
yes.
young parents
Young
are
lady
still
is
in
young.
still
Does
in
she look?
still in shock. His mother is 20 and his father is 21.
Wow.
You know, so they stole the joy of these people's life. Kohen was everything to them, you know. And they were essentially growing up with him. So when you see him, see his mother, you know,
Yeah. And
she's
I'm
in
so
shock.
glad.
They're in disbelief.
I'm so glad you there, brother, because having to talk to the press at a young age, this stuff could get twisted. Let me take this phone call and we can come back to that. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the open line. I think we have on our line my co-host, Sister Khadijah. When I told you, my brother, about Gina Six and one of the main persons on one of her television show that had the family on in the Lafayette area, and from one of the main persons that went out and support when it was just 15 people over there at the rallies in Gina, Louisiana. It was this sister right here on the line, Sister Khadijah. Sister Khadijah, welcome back to the open line.
Yes, thank you so very much. And I would like to commend Mr. Bridges on the fantastic work that he's doing. And my deepest sympathy go out to the family. You know, you just lost for words, because it's not like if this is continuously happening, like once every 3 months, once every 6 months. No, this is happening so often until it's unreal. And then one of the things that they do, they will call you and will you give to the police fund for thus? I don't just hang up on them. I let them know. You need to tell them racist animals, those racist dogs, to stop killing our people, ma'am. And then I hang up. That's what you need to do. Don't give them not one red penny, not anything, and any opportunity you get to speak about them or talk about them and expose them, we need that. I love the fact when you brought up that proximity, because that's something that we have to deal with regular. Not only with those these Klansmen and everything, but you got to deal with that with your people too. There we go again, black on black. I love that the explanation that you gave, because that is exactly what it is. Vietnamese gonna kill Vietnamese. Chinese gonna kill Chinese. I mean, white's gonna kill white. The difference between us is that we get promoted to the front page. You know, they don't get promoted. You understand what I'm saying? Their crimes it kept in house, not exposed like they do us. You know, every day, in and out, over and over, and they got the same thing that's happening in the community. Again, I will continuously keep you in my prayers, and thank God for your courage and the plight that you see, that you continuously believe in, because we're on ground level too. We're trying to do the same thing too. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you, Sister.
Thank you for your wise words, Queen. And I appreciate all the work that you have done in your community. Thank you for being a voice for your community, and continue to push the work. And I understand the weight of that and what comes with that. And it's not an easy process. I think Marcus Garvey said it best. When you fight for black people, you're fighting racism with one hand and black people with the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
So that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like I said, you got some they got some upcoming events in the area that the people in South Louisiana who can drive down and support you. See, I don't buy that situation where we have always have other people and they get some of our own people to say that. Well, we got a lot of outside forces coming in. Those people should stay in their lane and stay away. But you know what? What happened to young Kohen affects all of us. And we should be go anywhere to support families who have to go through certain things or activists who advocate for justice.
Exactly. And I don't buy into that narrative either. We all supposed to support our people. We all supposed to care. We have to stop looking and waiting until it knocks on our door.
Mm-hmm.
We're all impacted. Whenever, wherever something happens to our people, we're all impacted. And I'll run through the upcoming events because we want all the support. And we don't, man, I'm telling you, at this point, we're not listening to anything they said. These racist dogs are sending us a clear message. Well, they killed a teen in South Carolina with Cyrus Carmack Belton for an alleged dollar bottle of water. So they're showing us that our black teenagers' life is worth a dollar bottle of water. Shot him in the back running away. They disproportionately sentenced and locked Carmelo Anthony up for defending himself. So they're showing our black teens and black youth that, hey, let these people put your hands on you. If they tell you to do something, you just do it. If that ain't white supremacy, I don't know what it is. Totally disregarding the misdemeanor assault of Austin Metcalf by putting his hands on another person, which is Carmelo Anthony. Totally disregarded that and only could criminalize and see the thug and evil in this young black teen with a 3.7 GPA that never been in trouble and actually saved another person's life who was drowning. Austin Metcalf had never done any of that. And now fast forward just a week to 2 weeks later after that trial of them giving that young brother 35 years for defending himself. Now they're trying to show us that our baby's life is not worth nothing to them. Not even a pack of Pampers is an excuse, is a justification to murder someone. And
Right.
we're saying no, enough is enough. We're not taking that. We're not believing no narrative. So I'm just gonna be honest with your listeners. I don't care what the video reveals. I don't care if they were shoplifting Pampers. I don't care. There was no reason to kill this black baby. Period. There's no justification that can be said, shown, or anything to murder a black child for a misdemeanor call. Period. That's full stop. Nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing about it. We're not allowing it. We don't care what narrative they spin.
Brother,
You should. The
Brother
San
Bridges.
Antonio police are approaching these situations horribly.
Yeah, Brother Bridges, I didn't want to interrupt you. We got a call on the line. He wants some information. Go ahead, call. Pose your question.
Yeah, I need. My name is Sherry Levy. I need the phone call of the program that's on TV today. Do they have a number I can get in touch with them?
You talking about the program or the individual online? The individual we interviewing. Which one you want?
The program.
The program you calling the number right now. You could call me after the show is over with at around 11:15, and I'll give you some information.
After was it 7:15?
11:15.
Oh, 11. Excuse me, 11:15.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my name is Sherry Levy. Now, don't forget my name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
And I'm gonna call you about 11:30.
Are you enjoying the program now? Are you watching it now?
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Good. Please support
A lot of issues I like.
Yeah, a lot of
Excuse
issues.
me?
Yeah, a lot of issues. Please support this brother right here too. All right. We'll talk after the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I like the issues they're raising.
All right.
I like it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wow, Mr. My phone started lighting up at all at one time. We don't get a few phone calls, then all of a sudden you got several different numbers on the screen.
You're fine. You're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So we have Justice for Kohen, Celebration of Life and Memorial Justice Weekend,
Okay.
June 26th, Friday at 10 a.m.
Right.
is a march. The meetup spot is 4930 US 51, Senatobia, Mississippi, 38668. At 4 to 6 p.m. is the viewing of this dear baby's body. The family is asking for no media to show his body,
Right.
but it is open to the public. They want the public support to honor this baby. At 6 p.m. to 7:30, there's a town hall meeting. Our keynote speaker is Dr. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr.
Yes.
I will be the moderator. We have Melanie Marie, a political organizer from St. Louis. We have Dr. Jill Collins Jefferson, the executive director of Julian. We have Paloma Wu, the director of impact litigation for the Mississippi Center of Justice. And last but not least, we have our dear brother Baba Akili, the field coordinator and the rapid response director for Black Lives Matter Grassroots. And that concludes June 26th, that Friday. June 27th at 2 p.m. that Saturday is Kohen Cortez Wiley's funeral. It will be at Hosanna Church in Polk, Mississippi. At 6 p.m., it will be a vigil. The location is Sardis, Mississippi, at the baseball field, the park. And June 28th, Sunday at 1 p.m., there will be a community engagement. We'll have DJ Jumper for the kids. We'll be feeding the whole Black community in community period of Senatobia and doing a Stop the Bleed campaign. It's a program that was launched in Chicago that's centered around high areas of gun violence that teach the community how to make tourniquets and save lives. So that's what we'll be doing that Sunday. And that will conclude our Justice for Kohen Celebration of Life Memorial and Justice Weekend.
And the town of Sonoma, I've been that way because I've traveled to Memphis a couple of times. It's off of Interstate 55, I think.
Yes. It's 40 minutes from Memphis.
Right.
The surrounding counties or cities, I don't know if it's counties or cities, Mississippi's country as hell, but Sardis, Batesville, and Senatobia is all right there in 10 to 20 minutes surrounded. Yeah. Batesville being the largest city.
Okay. Yes. For those who from Louisiana who wants to travel that way, if it wasn't so much short notice, maybe another week, I would probably head out that way and cover it. We have traveled, have camera in hand. We're traveling. I think, my brother, you are into video or photography.
Well, yeah, I do photography and videography. But I've let so much stuff go for the movement. So I work two jobs, and I'm gonna say this because a lot of people like to think us organizers and activists don't work. I actually work from 8 to 5.
Exactly.
Every day 8 to 5 for Medicare. And then I work from 11 at night to 7 p.m. in the morning. I mean, 7 a.m. in the morning for sanitation. So all of my jobs are service, and I do that Monday through Friday.
And I'm saying that photography and videography got me into being an activist. Started out in the middle 90s with a camera for filming weddings and events, and then it just people started inviting me to those live events where we had protest marches and so forth. And I took it from there, then got into radio and television production for the last 20 years, Sister Khadijah and I. So you start off doing being a videographer, just showing up at an event with a camera, and technology has evolved so much till you have all these fancy cameras and all this streaming technology. So it's no excuse for our people not to get the information. There's no excuse for people not to get the information and to get the accurate information because of people like you, we know that the mainstream media is being bought off by the sycophants running the government now, even before that, and we're not getting an accurate picture of what's going on. And going back to when I saw the young lady spoke, my thing is to have good brothers like you to guide the sister not to volunteer too much to the mainstream media because they will twist it and they will use it to the other side advantage. So I advise anybody who wants to speak to any type of mainstream media to be careful when you speak to them because they are not on our side.
Facts. Yes, we already know this. We essentially, and all you're naming is just issues that being addressed. And I don't know how many lists you have, but I'm gonna say this because people need to hear this. The boycott of Walmart is for multiple reasons. It's not just about the death. It's to show Black unity, Black economic power, and it's to encourage these Black millionaires and billionaires. Why haven't you put up a Black store chain for our people to simply go? You can't, as an organizer, as an activist, as a community leader, I'm essentially fighting a war, and everyone's depending on these people. I have to have somewhere else to tell our people to go. And those places need to be created. And you made me think of that when you said Black media. Why is there not a Black media company? What are these people? We have to stop supporting these people that's not giving back to the community, giving back to the places they're from. Do something good with your money. Create some Black media so we can tell our history, our story, and accurately do so without the mainstream media's propaganda, right-wing hatred and racism. The lies that they put out about us. It should be a equal and opposite side of us pushing out our own stuff. And we have no excuses. There are plenty of Black men, but the problem is nobody want to come together. Come together and build us a Black store chain so we have places to go, so we're not dependent on these people. People need to understand. I sit back often and wonder about our ancestors, like in Tulsa and Rosewood and all of these Black cities and towns that was destroyed. I sit back and I think, what were they thinking in that moment? Were they thinking, oh, this would never happen? These people would never do something like this when we were excelling, and blossoming, so they wasn't prepared. We have to focus on self-defense, and we have to focus on our own. You can't fight a war if you got to go to the people you fighting and get your ammunition.
Right. So my brother, the info, you can go to your website. Give us your info and website. If you any telephone number you care to give out on this show, feel free.
Marquell Bridges on all platforms. My main platform is Facebook. So that's MarquellBridges on Facebook. You can find updates about a plethora of cases and families that we're working with. It's not just one. It's not just this one. It's really too many to name. But I do want to say justice for Glenn Foster Jr., justice for Dexter Wade, justice for Rasheem Carter, justice for Jalen Lewis, justice for Frank Tyson, and so many more. Justice for Jaden Bridges, he was killed by state troopers in Mississippi. All of these families. Justice for Jordan Hill, 10-year-old boy slain, murdered by a white racist, Cody Rollison, in Liberty, Mississippi. So there's so many stories. Justice for Daquan Johnson in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Justice for Ryan Hinton. We're working that case. Tory Hinton, all my love to his mom out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We know that Rodney Hinton allegedly, went out there and took measures in his own hands, and that's what we need to see more of. Anything to stop them from killing us. And a lot of people are not going to agree with that, but that's just the real. That's how I feel. We have to make them respect it until they have an empty seat at the table, until they feel how we feel. Watching our unarmed babies, women, men, and children be murdered, then it's not going to stop. We have to make it stop. Stop thinking somebody's coming to save us. There's nobody coming to save us. We got to save ourselves. We all we got, and that's all we need. And thank you for having me on, dear brother.
Yes, very eloquently said. Just like I said when I told my sister Khadijah that we got to get you on, brother. I really appreciate you giving me this time, and we could try to get out there and support you in the near future. And anything you need on this end, just holler at us, my brother, like we say down south.
Love and respect. Have a good day, black man.
Love and respect back at you. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go, people. You just heard from Brother Marquell Bridges, pronouncing Brother Marquell name right, I'm hoping. Community activists building bridges. Please get out and support the good brother. He's doing the yeoman work. And again, the tragic situation of Brother Kohen is it's young Brother Kohen, young black baby, innocent, shot down. This is America. This is the America that we're going to be seeing when we talk about on July the 4th, the town hall meeting.